Hello and welcome to today's Delta Credit Tip. So you've decided you want to start monitoring your credit and you're thumbing through online to figure out which credit monitoring service you want to use. You stumble across Credit Karma and decide to use them. Is that a right decision? Can you trust the information they give you? Well, stay tuned. We'll fill you in on our opinion of Credit Karma right here on today's Delta Credit Tip. Hello and welcome back to today's Delta Credit Tip. So you've decided to use Credit Karma as your resource for your credit information and your credit monitoring as you go through your credit repair process. Was that a good decision? Well, we're going to go through our pros and cons of Credit Karma, our opinion of Credit Karma as a credit restoration company. Hopefully you'll find that information helpful. If so, give us that thumbs up. Don't forget, subscribe and hit the bell below so that every Thursday as we come out with new information to help you in your credit restoration process, you get it right out of the gate. Also, everybody's experience with Credit Karma we found over time has been a little bit different per person, right? So we're really interested in hearing about your experience with Credit Karma and the accuracy of it and the content of that information as you segue into your lending environment of whatever you're trying to buy, house, car, credit card, whatever, right? So comment below, let us know about your experience. We'll actually interact with you and kind of give you some feedback and hopefully it's helpful. But again, subscribe, hit the bell so that you get this information right out of the gate. All right, so let's talk about Credit Karma. And I want to start off with the good stuff, right? There is actually some very good qualities that I really like about Credit Karma. The first thing I like about Credit Karma is the price. It's a phenomenal price. And the thing is that if you thumb through other videos online about Credit Karma and their business model, how they make their money is irrelevant to me as long as they're not stealing my information and or costing me the money. Right? They're making their money through affiliate marketing. So when you get that offer for the credit card or the student loan or help or the personal, whatever product they're trying to push down your throat as you go through their product, that's where they make their money. Good for them, right? Got nothing against them making some money, especially if they're able to provide this service for you for free as a result. Okay, so we're going to skip past that whole thing about how they make their money because it's really irrelevant to the content of the information that they're giving you. And especially since it's free, it makes it even better. Okay, now the second thing that I like about Credit Karma is that it's very educational. They've got a lot of good tools in there. Look in the resource tab in Credit Karma, and they've got everything from score simulators to educational pieces. So they really do go out of their way to make sure that there's some good content on there about how the score is used and how the credit report is used and that sort of thing. The third thing that I really like about Credit Karma, which is really kind of the nail in the coffin for me, is that the information that they do provide is actually pretty accurate. You know, outside of one particular thing that we're going to get to in a minute, everything else about the credit report that they provide, the content of what accounts are on your credit report, the balances, who's reporting, who's not reporting, all that is good. Now, the detail behind the information, we'll talk about that in a minute, but really those are the three things that I like about Credit Karma. Okay, now let's talk about the bad. Okay, and the first bad thing about Credit Karma is that you're only going to get 2 out of the 3 bureaus, right? Experian does not participate with Credit Karma, so you're always going to be missing that 3rd bureau. So if you have some stuff that are on that Experian credit report, it could get in the way because you'll never know about it, right? Until a lender pulls your credit and says, oh, wait a minute, yeah, Equifax and TransUnion are good, but you've got this whatever on Experian. The second thing that I really don't like about Credit Karma is that there is a lot of missing information in the details, right? The account number is not there. The date of the last activity isn't typically there. They're going to typically show, especially when it comes to debt collection accounts, the time in which they got the account, not the time in which the account charged off with the original creditor. So dates and account numbers are really something that is lacking on the Credit Karma profile that they give you. All right. The third thing that really I don't like about Credit Karma is the score. Right. The score is way off. Don't trust the score at all when it comes to Credit Karma. But if you've watched any of our videos, you quickly should know right off the bat that I could care less, even as a credit repair specialist, about the score, right? If you've watched any of our videos, you know your credit is not a score. Your credit is the behavior that leads to the score, and Credit Karma does show your behavior. Okay? Score, I don't care about. What I care about is the behavior. And when you really start looking at the score, you really can't blame Credit Karma for that because there's 64 versions of your credit score. And the score model that they use is the Vantage 3.0, which is actually a little bit dated. They're now up to like 9, but there's actually, like I said, 64 versions of your credit score. And truth be told, there's only 3 companies that get their credit scores directly from FICO: Equifax, Experian, and MyFICO. Credit Karma deals with Equifax and TransUnion. All right, and the information that they're getting from those bureaus that they're relating to you is the Vantage 3 score, which is not what lenders use, and it's not what car dealerships use. So again, if you remember and go into this situation that the score isn't your credit, then Credit Karma will work for you. Okay? Because again, we're worried about the behaviors. We're worried about the content of that credit report. Once it's removed from the credit report, Credit Karma will update it appropriately. Once the creditors update the balances on your credit cards, it will reflect in Credit Karma. Can you trust the score? No. Can you trust maybe as a gauge? Hey, I just went up 100 points. Chances are you went up something, right? Maybe not 100 points, but there's a likelihood that it's going to generally show you the ebbs and flows of your score, all right? But again, don't fixate on the score, fixate on the content of that credit report, and it will serve you in whatever ways that you need. So if I had to rate Credit Karma out of a 0 to say a 10-star rating, where 10 is the best and 0 is no, not at all, I wouldn't use it. I would probably give Credit Karma a good 7.5, right? Love the content, love that it's free, love that it updates every week, right? But I just don't like the fact that there's no score, okay? And also what we typically will do is we will use a more accurate credit monitoring source that maybe only updates every 30 days, right? That gives us all 3 that we potentially pay for. But we're going to stick with Credit Karma because it does show weekly activity. So if something happens to drop off in the middle of the cycle of what I'm paying for the more accurate reading of my credit, it'll let me know in the meantime that the adjustments have been made. All right. So really, Credit Karma is a tool that we would recommend you use with other tools, but it is a vital part of getting fast information as it happens, because Credit Karma is very good about that. So hopefully this information helps. If so, don't forget, give us those thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell so that every Thursday as we come out with more information to help you in your credit restoration process, of course, you get it as soon as we deliver it. Most importantly, share this information. If you know someone who's going through that process of trying to fix their credit and are using Credit Karma, have them watch the video just so that they know to take that score with a grain of salt and use that content to the best of their ability, right? And hopefully this will help you and them make a choice, make a change. Delta.